So I have this micro USB cable starting to come apart on me, and what I want to try to do is save it from breaking anymore and give me a little bit more life out of it. What I'm going to do is just kind of add a splint to it, and I'm just going to need a few objects around the house that I have. So one of them is a popsicle stick. I think this is actually a stir stick for some coffee. I'm going to use a glue gun, and then the idea is to take this popsicle stick and glue it to either side of this, kind of like a splint, and then you could wrap it in electrical tape or regular tape or whatever you want to do to kind of just keep it all together. What I'm going to use is actually shrink wrap. So this material here, it actually, when you heat it up, it shrinks and squeezes onto whatever it fits. Problem with this one is this is a bigger diameter than what I would like to use, but it does fit over that cord, and that's what I'm going to need to do. And then I'm going to need a way to heat that up, and I could use a blow dryer, but I have at my disposal a heat gun, which actually to me does a lot better job than a blow dryer. It does it definitely a lot quicker. So I'm just gonna wing it here and see what I can do, and then just kind of record the process I'm going along. So I'll move this out of the way, move it out of the way. I'm going to measure this stick. If I wanted to put it about right there, how long of a stick would I need if I wanted to kind of cover it up with that? Okay, so I'm going to break the stick off about, I don't know, about right there. Right, and then I'm going to make two sticks the same length. Just break the other one off. I don't care that one end's rounded and one end's not. I'm going to cover them both up. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is glue one of these sticks on that side of the cable and one on the other side. So let me see what I can do here. All right, I don't want too much glue on the thicker part. So I'm going to just put a small amount without burning myself, hopefully, at the front, and then kind of glob it up at the back. Of course, you could always fill it in later. All right. I'm going to let that dry for a second and try to keep it straight as best I can. Try not to burn yourself too much with hot glue. And put the other one on. Just to keep the length of the stick, I'm going to go ahead and glue the stick instead of putting glue on here, and I won't really know where to stop. I'm going to do it on the stick just in case. All right. Okay, so now that those are in place, let that focus. I'm actually going to fill in with glue here, just to give it some more body. And I'm just kind of dressing it up a little bit more with the glue. All right, let's see if I can get that to focus a little bit. All right, so all I did was just kind of fill in with glue. It's really ugly, but that doesn't matter to me too much. What matters is, keeping the cable together. So what I have to do now is let this cool a little bit, and once it cools, then I can slide the heat shrink over, because if I try to slide it over now, it will actually shrink to the glue, because the glue is still warm and it'll start shrinking down. I don't want to do that. I want to wait till I can slide it on all the way before I do that. Okay, so let's wait a second. Okay, the glue's pretty much done drying. It's still just a slightly warm to it, but I don't think it's enough to worry about and mess with that heat shrink. So at this point, you can actually just wrap this in electrical tape. The problem with electrical tape is over time it'll just kind of start spreading apart, and you'll get that glue from the bottom of the tape and just kind of start sticking to everything. And especially that black tape, that starts turning things black because that black glue starts getting out. But again, what I'm going to do is take this heat shrink tubing and slide it over and then heat it up, and it should shrink down to this. So let's see what happens here. So I'm going to slide it down, slightly cover both sides like that, and the idea is for it to shrink. So actually I'm going to extend it just a little bit more on the front side, I think, because no, I can't do that. Let's just kind of split the difference, put it in the middle. Alright, so I'm going to turn this on and see what happens here. I'm going to move my fingers down a little bit because it does get warm. Alright, let's see if I can keep this guy in focus while I do this. Alright. So it's starting to shrink now. And that's just about as far as it's going to go. Okay, that's just about as far as it's going to go. If you notice, actually, what it did was it warmed up that glue. And this is really hot. It warmed up the glue and it started squeaking out, which actually is kind of a good thing in my case, but because it's going to help, seal it in the back here. It's not like I get it wet or anything, but it's going to just, I think it's going to add more strength to that cable. So this again, this heat shrink doesn't shrink down any more than I don't know what the percentage is, but at this end here, it's a little bit flared. It's not squeezed tight to the cable, but I think it's okay. I think this was a really good diameter actually. Now that I'm looking at it, so once this thing dries, what I'll probably do is kind of scrape this glue off with my thumbnail here just to kind of clean that up. But other than that, I would say that this was a success. So that's what I did to fix this cable. At least I caught it in time before it really broke and fell apart. My wife's actually broke and fell apart, and we can't do anything with it, so we had to trash it. But this one actually still charged, and it didn't really glitch or anything. Like when I moved it, it didn't break the connection. It was on its way out, so I was able to save it with using this splint method. So, all right, thanks for watching.